Welcome to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
All right, guys. This is Memphis Mark coming to you from Mullet Manor. And, man, we're going to do the review for 11:15. That's right, the NXT review coming at you. And, man, they jump right into it. They go into a world title match with Braun Breaker, and Von Wagner. So let's do a little tale of the tape. You got Braun, 6 foot, 230. He was actually a Division II, I believe, wrestling champ. Or I know he was a high school state champ, but he went to Kennesaw State. He was I think a running back. Actually got drafted by the Ravens, though he only made it through training camp. But anyway, he's done more than I have, so there we go on him. And let's do Mr. Von Wagner. Now, he's 6'5", 255 is what they list him at. Now, he played basketball, football, and everything. He was a tight end at UCF. So Central Florida. So yes, he played Division I ball. And then you've got, just think about in the state of Florida, what wrestlers they've produced. You got Omos. Omos went to South Florida. And you got Titus O'Neil that went to University of Florida. So, and I'm sure I'm missing a bunch, but that just gives you a little glimpse of this. But let's go into this match. Man, this was Von Wagner doing his best old school. I mean, he starts off with shoving Mr. Stone and causing a distraction. So you've got everything, he gets the jump on it, but man, he really goes after a body part. And he tries to dissect him with his arm, shoulder area. And it was really, really good. I mean, look, now Braun does some incredible things in here. A standing suplex. Their timing was just freaking on. I think the match was a really, really good match. Now, let's see here. They went into they went into about the middle of the match, and it's about even way. And as I said, their timing was good, but man, Braun was doing a little flying around because he can do this because, Von Wagner is so much bigger. He can be the small guy in the match. And sometimes that's easier for a big guy. Now, I mean, Braun's 6 foot, so normally he's about the size of everybody. But at 6'5", he can move Von Wagner in ways he can't do some of the other guys. So it gets a chance for him to showcase his talent on a big guy. But as I said, this match goes really good. They're flying around, and then it comes down to some close pins, some very close pins, back and forth. Then it comes to where, there's an argument with the referee. He turns his back on Braun, and you know what happens. A spear, and he won. But look, man, Von Wagner is coming, guys. This guy is going to be a superstar we're seeing it come in our own eyes. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Braun Breaker. He's the champ, and he's getting the big push, and I understand why. But Von Wagner will be there. Okay, let's see where we go. We got an Alba Fire promo after that, and she's talking about Toxic Attraction doesn't have the numbers tonight for her last woman standing match. That's right. Normally it's a last man standing match. Not tonight, folks. It is a last woman standing match. And she's let everybody know. She's taking out Gigi. She's taking out JC Jane. And they kind of doing it kind of like a little bit like the Beauty and the Beast, So, hey, here we go. And then after Braun is walking back after this long, good, for him, a long match. And, they put on a show. They would be tired. So he's walking back. And who does he run into? But JD. And JD comes out and congratulates him. He says, hey, you did good there, but you're not done with me. So then they go to a commercial, but they've got Zoe Stark coming to the ring, and she is ready to explain what happened last week. She ready to explain, man. So here we go. Let's see. Zoe Stark comes out, and she is fired up. She is ready to let the whole NXT universe know what is on her mind. And she is coming out with, all right, this is an old school kind of an interview. Yeah, I mean, I could see several old timers in the back preparing her for this. Now, in this promo, she has one little slip up, but other than that, I'm going to give her on this promo, because this is a lot of time to give someone. This is a lot of mic time, but that was a big deal. What she did last week when she went thump a thump thump, and man, that was look back at that thump upside Miss Lyon's head with that belt. That was pretty good, laid out pretty good. But anyway, but okay, we'll go back. I'm going to give this interview a C-, only because towards the end, because she built it up. She built the interview up. She pretty much said that Nikita was the weak link, that management kind of put her in that position because she was going after the world belt, but, they kind of put her in a position to tag team. And Nikita came in and maybe have caught her when she was in a training time and, been hurt in the trainer's room. And there's a lot of variables that get to go to that, but then she goes into pretty much mocking Miss Lyons over her social media status. And, and that she was tired of helping the young, young talent and carrying them. So she originally came out and said she is tired to get her off her back. So it's the typical heel turn. She is not the hunted anymore. She's the hunter. So that's how, that went in. They go into a Chase U University little promo after that, and it's Duke Hudson. And Mr. Chase wants to know, why did you throw in the towel? Really, tell me why you threw the towel. And this is a good little turn. Duke is doing good on the mic, and they're building a storyline up here, and I can see what's a brewing down the road. But let's see if we all agree once it gets time. You never can tell. All right. Well, they're getting ready to go to a commercial break. So what do? They put the big monsters out there. And Veer is big. And Sangha I knew was big. But Veer is... I'd say he's, I don't know. I haven't looked up his stats, but I'm going to say he's around 6'1", 6'2". Not a small guy, probably closer to 270, somewhere around in that range. But, man, Sangha, the nice guy that they were building up, Sangha, the protector of everyone. He'll go out to the ring with you and be a nice guy. Sangha is now a badass. And he's jumped to the other side, folks. And look, it's a good-looking tag team, man. You got to respect anybody that shaves their back hair and their chest hair in a perfect line. That is something that you got to respect. That is old school right there, folks. When they come back from the commercial break, they've got a little Braun Breaker and Apollo. Kind of Apollo catches him in the locker room. And you know what? Braun was real busy on the way. He got stopped by JD. Now Apollo's coming at him. You know, my man's got people coming at him from every direction. But, you know, Apollo goes in there and says, hey, look at what I'm going to do tonight. And when one challenge ends, another one, you know, it begins. So that's where they go from that. But then they go into, what did they call it? Inshir. It's Veer and Sunga. And tonight they're going against the traveling jabronis. That's right, jabronis from parts unknown, because this was a smash. This was just a smash match. And they actually have a move to where they smash a person in the middle of the ring. They both just run in off the rope on each side and smash the guy. So this not only was a smash match, but there were 2 smashes in the match. And, this was just, but that, as I said, man, I knew Sunga was big, but man, when you see him out there, he is a monster. This guy is a lot bigger than you would think, and they move very well. And I know this was a smash match, you know, and it was against Jabroni number 1. Jabroni number 2. But, you know, they made one of the jabronis do a tag, and then they just whooped on them a few minutes and, hey, you know, sent them on their way. But it looked impressive. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. All right, let me see. We go into, we got the Creed brothers. They got to accept the challenge that Sunga and Veer have laid down. So they're doing a little promo. They got Ivy and Paxley in there, and Ivy's wondering if they're going after the right people. But the Creed brothers are telling them, look, a challenge has been laid down. So they've got to do something about it. Hey, they got to defend their name. Now they do a quick little promo with Wendy Chu. And she's talking about Cora Jade, and it's just little Wendy Chu. So that was pretty much the end of that interview. That's all I'm gonna cover on that. Wendy Chu. But they go into JD McDonough against Apollo Crews, and this is going to be a good match. This is look, the first match, Braun and Von Wagner. I think it was a good match. You make your own choice, okay? I think it was a banger match. Well, this is another banger match. This is JD McDonough against Apollo Crews, and man, it's a back and forth kind of thing, but man, JD can sell, and this was a good match. Apollo looked freaking great, and you know what? I'm just going to put this out there. JD, when he does a stomp, he doesn't just stomp you and go on. He stomps and then turns, with his foot. He like stomps down and doesn't get off of it, and then he twists, kind of like he's putting a cigarette butt out. If any of y'all know what cigarettes are or butt is, or putting one out. But anyway, it's like he's twisting on it. And that's kind of like what the Ronnie Garvin stomp was back in the day. And Ronnie Garvin was very planned, and everything was very architect. He just set up a picture of whooping your butt. And JD has got a little of that Ronnie Garvin in him. But look, man, this was a good match, man. The chops. At one point in time, JD does a Spanish fly on him. It's just freaking awesome. I mean, they got close pins. This is a really, really good match, and it's back and forth. It's back and forth until right at the end. They even do an old school roll up to where they're tied up in like a small package, and they do the roll to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right. It's kind of like they're doing the Cupid shuffle, but they roll up around, and each one gets a chance at the pin. But of course, it comes out of that. And, you think after the Spanish fly and a couple moves that JD's going to pull this off, but no. Apollo does a big monster one-hand choke slam from, Undertaker, like, just big boss man, just old school wham. And I'm thinking, okay, he's going to kick. Nope, he doesn't kick out. So that is the end of that match. And then Mandy, after that, she cuts a little promo of, she's trying to go a little old school herself. Everybody has got a little bit of a different influence in their promos and in their matches, in my humble opinion. But they go to Big Body Hobby, and he's ready for Axiom. He wants to take him on, but he's hurt. Okay, so now he's ready to take on Dragunov, but he's hurt. So now he's ready to take on Gallus. Any one of them, but they're suspended. So that's the end of that one. Okay, all right. So from there we go to the OJ Booker T. Booker T up in the house. He's going to do a contract signing. And if Booker T's going to do it, he's going to have full control. It is Booker T's way or the highway. That's just the way. Quack, quack. All right, so here we go. Booker T's got Mello, Carmelo Hayes, and Trick. And it's got Wesley, the champ, the North American champ, and they're going to do a signing. And, Carmelo does his little thing, and he's got Trick barking behind him like a chihuahua. And, they go back and forth, and, pretty good. I can't complain. Look, Melo is ready for the big time in his interviews. They sound good, everything. They just are freaking fantastic. But Wes is Wes sounds like to me like a doctor in a soap opera, and he's going, "You have amnesia." He is so serious, and it's just, I don't know. It's just, he's good in the ring. Everything else is good, and he's good on the mic. I'm not trying to say it's just he doesn't have, like, Mello is got that. Maybe he is a generational talent. I've heard some other people say some things like that. I don't know. But we will, I digress. But anyway, Booker T takes over this, and right at the end of it, it looks like all hell is about to break loose. They're about to get up Trick and Mello, about to jump on Wes. Wes is about to clear everybody. But Booker T says, wait a minute, save the drama for your mama. He comes in there, and Booker T takes charge on this. And then, of course, he has to end it with, "Can you dig that, sucker?" So they do a quick little, I'm sorry, I tickled myself on that. I'm sorry. Excuse me. They do a little hard justice, a little quick little guy signs his name. All right, and they've got Odyssey, Blade and Anafi, and they want to explain the sweater vest, because Odyssey's trying to, help him out with his wardrobe and everything, but he gives a explanation of the sweater vest, and these guys are great. They're very talented, but we need to figure a little bit better story line for them. All right, let's see where we go. We go to Briggs and Jensen with Fallon Henley, and they're going against Schism. And they got Doyard. They got Fowler and Reed, and they're going to go, and they always got Ava Rain on the outside and Mr. Gacy. But Dyad is here to take on Briggs and Jensen. And this is a pretty good match, and one thing I noticed in this match was that Briggs and Jensen remind me of the Midnight Express. And if you don't know who they are, look them up. But there was two versions. There was Stan Lane and Dennis Condrey's. Different versions with Bobby Eaton. The Bobby Eaton one probably, if you don't know who Bobby Eaton is, he was probably the most solid wrestler out there. Could be in a main event, an opening match. He would do, he would sell for somebody. He would do whatever. Bobby Eaton was the prototypical, if you built a wrestler because you have to have good guys, you have to have bad guys, you have to have mid-card guys. Bobby Eaton was one of the best wrestlers you'll ever see on the circuits and the territories back in the day. A great guy. I could do a whole show on Bobby Eaton. But anyway, the Midnight Express is a little bit of what the Dennis Condrey version of what I'm seeing in Briggs and Jensen. So the match is good. It's a back and forth match, of course. That's how it goes. But it ends up being a numbers game, but I'm going to say Briggs at one time does a springboard move off the ropes on the outside that is worth looking at, my friends. It was really good. But towards the end, it's going to be the numbers game like it always is. And Miss James comes out. And she gets involved. And the next thing you know, Brother Jensen, is falling kind of in Miss James' lap. So he's paying attention to that, not paying attention to what's going on up in the ring. Yeah, well, Mr. Briggs gets a very big double team, and Dyad wins the match. So that's going to be, you're chasing the girls, they'll get you in the end. All right, so everything else is setting up Shawn Michaels making an appearance and announcement. So I'm ready for the Shawn Michaels announcement, and when they show Shawn Michaels, I kind of want to hand him a ham sandwich. He looks like he could use a few pounds on him. I hope he's doing well health-wise, but anyway, they're setting up for a deadline, and they've got a new match, folks. They've got a new match. It's the Iron Survival Challenge. And so far, this is what I gather. You get the most falls in 25 minutes. Well, that sounds one way, but hey, there's a penalty box. So, so you get a point if you get a pin. I believe a point taken away from you if you're pinned, so that nulls that out. So, and there's a penalty box that you can be put in for 90 seconds. This was a lot of information to gather on this first little promo, and I'm trying to get a review out to everyone. So I'm not going to make fun of this. I'm not going to talk about this yet, but I am happy that they are trying to do something. And again, I may send Sean a ham sandwich. But then they've got Indy Hartwell going against Miss Paxley, and she's got a mask on for her nose. And so, you know what? They've been building Miss Hartwell up as a badass, and she's proven it so far. I've really liked the way she's done everything. This match was good. It was fairly close, whatever. And then Indy just says, screw this, and rips the mask off. And a couple moves later, you know what? Indy kind of reminded me the way she was moving around. If we're going to go old school today, she kind of reminded me a little bit of Paul Orndorff back in the day, Mr. Wonderful, because the way her mannerisms around the ring, and even Paxley made a mistake, had a slip, and instead of like getting her up and setting the move over, freaking Miss Hartwell just freaking clotheslines her from hell and makes it look good. So, but yeah, Indy ends up ripping the mask off, and a couple moves later, and it is Miss Hartwell winning that match. All right, then they go into a little Scripps promo, and he's saying he's already here and he's ready to go, and you can't stop him. So until I see him, I won't know how to stop him. So there it leads to the Mandy Rose and Alba Fire. It's the last woman standing match, y'all. And look, man, this is a good match. It comes down to just some bare bones mean fighting. Seems like Miss Fire tries to go after Mandy's leg. She does a good job at that. She looks a little Terry Funkish, if we're going to go a little old school, a little bit, the way she does her thing. So I like the match. They use a lot of, they've got a garbage can, they got chairs, they've got the bat, they've got a little of everything going on in this match. And the actual wrestling side of it was good too. They both have good back and forth moves, but when you start getting down to the end of the match, you start getting to the cutting out. And this is where it comes down to it. They both have some great moves. Mandy throws Miss Fire over the outside barricade before she gets into the stands. There's a little gap in that area there, and she's doing some whooping, and there's ladders involved and every freaking thing that you can imagine. And I did see the referee move the ladder when you can't do that, but you can't have that camera angle. But anyway, the match was good. It comes down to a mistake, of course, and the mistake was, I'm going to say this right, Miss Elsla Dawn, the modern day witch. I don't know a lot about her, but she comes from nowhere, comes up on the ladder and distracts and does a fabulous muda and spits a foreign substance in Miss Fire's face, which allows her to go through a table, which is the announcer's table, which the poor girl, doesn't weigh anything, and she collapsed that table perfect. But anyway, it was a good ending to that match. So Mandy ends up retaining the championship with the help of the modern day witch. This is a red-headed young lady that spits from her mouth like the fabulous Muda. And if you don't know who the Fabulous Muda is, again, go back and do your research. This is not financial advice. But that's pretty much the way the show ends right there. And it was, hey, look, guys, I got to give this a C+ on a show that coming out with a new match. They're kind of going after, a little bit. They're trying to involve some game show type to it, I guess, maybe Hell in a Cell type. I don't know, but at least they are trying. And that's all you can ask for. That and to Shawn Michaels to eat some more food and gain a little weight. Or either get a better suit. One of the two. But anyway, the last woman standing match was a good match. The show was pretty solid, so I can't go with anything wrong this week. Now they're all leading up to Deadline, the next and the last for the year, the big not pay-per-view, but the big next event. So that is what they're leading up to, and man, they're writing the script. So, and the ladies and the gentlemen, it's going to be for the ladies and the gentlemen on this Iron Survival Challenge. So, it should be, maybe we'll see how good it is. But other than that, folks, we've gotten some great questions. I've sent some answers out to some people. I appreciate some of them, but we can't. I can't post a lot of these. I would like to get some that are maybe PG. So anyway, we're just going to leave it at that. All right. So what do we got here? We got here, I guess we'll just end her up here. And as always, from Mullet Manor here at Memphis Mark wants you to, if you can, rescue, spay and neuter. But as always, you know what? I got to go, so I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.